In a perfect world, I would have done full-blown league previews for every single league because I enjoy making them as much as I hope you like watching them. But I've been wanting to take my beautiful family to Portugal for years now, ever since I came here for a preseason and fell in love with its kind people and the magic of its cities. And this time in August 2016 was the best time for that to happen, so we're doing it. But I'll be honest, it's putting a serious cramp in my preview releasing style. So I'm gonna force you guys to accept this compromise instead, as two of the biggest leagues in the world in Italy and Spain kick off this weekend, which of course means I've got two things to say about these two leagues.
1.
Serie A. The reigning champions Juventus, who have won the league the last 5 seasons, which should make all the other clubs in Italy very ashamed of themselves, are going to win the league again for the 6th straight time, the first time that has ever happened in Serie A history, and it's not even close. I mean, 2 seasons ago they had a central midfield that consisted of Pogba and Pirlo and Vidal, and this season it's Marchisio and Pjanic and Khedira. Now those guys are solid, but they're not those other guys. Plus, they got Roma's best player, who I just mentioned, Pjanic, and they got Napoli's best player in Gonzalo Higuain, who are their 2 closest competitors, and then they added Dani Alves, and they are just an unstoppable force, and they have confidence, which is key. Also, Gigi Buffon. As for the rest of the clubs, I'm sure their managers are saying, look at what Leicester did in England last season. If we believe, if we work together, we can do it too. Newsflash for all you managers in Serie A, no. No, you can't. Juve was terrible at the start of last season and they still won the league by 9 points. So the realistic race is qualifying for a European competition. So here's my order of finish and a fun fact about the teams that I believe will qualify for the Champions and Europa League respectively next season. And I guess I'll talk about AC Milan too. Roma, Roma, Roma. Manager Luciano Spalletti has only lost 1 league game since taking over as manager in January, so that bodes well for the upcoming season. Also, they have this incredible player coming off the bench. He puts the super in super sub. He's gonna score a lot of big goals, I can feel it. And his name, maybe you've heard of him, Francesco Totti. Roma's gonna finish 2nd. Inter Milan. I really like the decision by the new owners to hire Frank de Boer. I feel like it was really smart. I think it was time to move on from Roberto Mancini. So if de Boer can get caught up quickly on the strengths and weaknesses of his team and really bring out the hidden talent that we all know is there, then I think they're gonna be pushing for a Champions League spot this season. 3rd, Napoli. If owner Aurelio De Laurentiis continues to publicly criticize his players like he did to 36 goals in 35 games from a season ago striker Gonzalo Higuain, which apparently made it easy for Higuain to leave Napoli and join Juve, then they're never gonna be a serious threat in Serie A, but maybe the Europa League. 4th, Fiorentina. With Roma and Napoli losing their best players to Juventus, the time is now for Fiorentina to maybe make that climb to be the 2nd best team in the country, with the key word being maybe. Also, keep an eye on Federico Bernardeschi. The 22-year-old winger striker is my pick to be the breakout player of the season. Also ×2, Fiorentina's finishing 5th. AC Milan. New owners, new coach, new players, same old uncertainty about what the identity of the team is. I miss the good old days. 7th. So in summation about Serie A, you guys know I'm right about this. Juve is going to take it and the rest are just going to fight for the scraps. Also, I'm never wrong, so that's another reason why you should always listen to what I have to say. Except that one time where...
2.
La Liga. The reigning champions Barcelona, who have won the league the last 2 seasons, which should make all the other clubs in Spain very ashamed of themselves, are going to win the league again for the 3rd straight time. And don't get me started about how they barely won the league last season. They had 2 bad weeks out of 40, which at the time gave the Madrid clubs hope that they could possibly catch them. But instead, it only made Barca even more focused, with Luis Suarez scoring 1,000 goals in the last 5 games of the season or something, proving that they can handle the pressure and the expectations with relative ease and complete class. Which Tottenham, if you're watching, you should take notes on how that's done. As for the rest, well, I'm sure their managers are saying, look at what Leicester did in England. If we work together, if we believe, we can do it too. Newsflash for all the managers in La Liga that aren't from Madrid. No, you can't. Barca were only not good when they were trying to make it exciting or when their top players were flying halfway across the world to play in World Cup qualifiers, and I'm not sure if you buy that as an excuse or not. So the realistic race in La Liga is qualifying for a European competition, and I guess to see which Madrid club can stay healthy enough to win the Champions League. So here is the order of finish and a fun fact for the 5 teams I predict will finish after Barcelona. Real Madrid. With a surprisingly quiet transfer window, their only move of significance was buying back Alvaro Morata from Juventus. Los Blancos finally used a summer being happy with the players that they have, which is a foreign concept for a club that seems to pride themselves on being active in the buying and selling of players. So we'll see how that works out for them. Also, we'll see how it works for Zinedine Zidane in his first full season in charge. Second. I forgot that part. Atletico Madrid. I'll be honest, I have a soft spot for this club and their manager Diego Simeone. Maybe because it's their hard-working, never say die style that has some talent hidden in there, and that's something that I could relate to and how I used to view myself as a player. So you have all of these elements, and then you have their manager Simeone pulling the strings, and then you add in Kevin Gameiro from Sevilla and Nico Gaitan from Benfica to bolster their options up top, and they could be challenging for the title. So my heart says they're gonna get first because I think it would be really cool to see them do it, but my head says they're gonna get third. Celta Vigo. Sure, they lost one of their top players in Nolito to Manchester City, but they made some shrewd moves in the transfer window, including signing one of the hottest prospects in the world, 22-year-old Danish international Pione Sisto. And I apologize, I'm pretty sure I butchered his name, but he is a great player, and he's gonna pick up some slack left by Nolito, which means with everyone being bang average outside of the top 3 super clubs, fourth will be theirs. Sevilla. They wanted to get fourth, but they prefer to play in and win the Europa League. Fifth, Villarreal. I'm pretty positive they would love to get fourth again this season, but with Roberto Soldado out for 6 months with a torn ACL, and Marcelino, their manager, who didn't put a step wrong last season, getting sacked last week after falling out with the players in the boardroom, it is just way too much drama. Sixth. So in summation about La Liga, you guys know I'm right about this because I'm never wrong. Look at this face. All right, that is enough of me talking. What do you guys think? Who do you think is going to win both leagues? Comments, like, subscribe, and once I get back from Portugal, I'm gonna be posting more. I'm gonna announce some fun things, so tell all your friends. Later.